Okay, hi YouTube. Get ready for a real quick video, because there's not a lot to say about this game. This is National Open Round 5. I had the black pieces, and this game was not my favorite. d4, knight f6, c4, e6. Knight f3, d5. So we have a Rogozin type thing, like if he does this is what I was gonna do. So it's not a Rogozin, but I thought it was going to be. Then he played bishop g5, which I haven't looked at, and I was like, grrr! What is with these little kids knowing obscure lines, like in a lot of theory and obscure lines? And I think he lied to me. He told me he didn't know theory here. If you don't know theory here, you play knight c3. Right? Like, bishop g4 is a good move, or bishop g5 is a good move that I have to know how to meet. And I just didn't know, because it's my fault, again, for not preparing in the opening. That's my fault. It's a skill issue. But this game is just so depressing. So the best way to play here, I think, is taking on c4. And I think the, normally if you can take here and hang on to this pawn, like you should, or bishop b4 and then take. I played h6, which is also good. It's like second best. And the reason I did this is because I was like, I don't know, like I was told, like, in these structures, when the bishop comes to g5, it's almost always, a good idea to play h6. So I was like, all right, I'll play h6, fuck it. And you have to remember, you saw the games I just played, the last two games I played, where I got into horrible, horrible time pressure, and I just, like, lost all faith in my ability to make decisions. So I was trying to play fast in this game. Bishop b4 is fine. Knight d2. And then for, like, maybe a minute or two, I considered taking on c4 and following it up with b5, and I thought that looked really, really, like, interesting. But because I have no faith in my ability anymore, I kind of, like, I guess I'll just play a move that, like, what you should never do, by the way. If you're studying openings, never fucking do this. Never do this. In this position, it's correct to play g5 and follow it up with knight e4, because I'm making a threat. And I just, like, was depressed, and I was like, I don't know, whatever, I don't really give a shit, so I just did the same thing here. And it is just not very good here, because I'm not making a threat, and after a3, my position is bad, and then my opponent played perfect from here, and I just lost. So I don't really know what to say about it. Like, I think typically, if you can hang on to the pawn, you should try. So better here would be d takes c4, like a3, and bishop takes d2. Looks fucking weird to me. This looks better, but then there's this. So maybe bishop e7. But even this, like, I didn't like this. Like, everything looked like crap. And I was just depressed. And so I just did this. And then I kind of had to take on d2, I thought. I mean, maybe I can play bishop f8, but... And then I realized that this is a threat, and at first I thought there was no way to defend it, and then I was like, oh, I guess I can play queen f6. And then my opponent played e3, knight d7, queen c3 is best. He hovered over that one, like, he almost played a move that was a little bit worse, and then he was like, no, I'll play this. I was like, okay. c6... c5 I thought was, like, the only move that he played that looked a little bit weird. It makes sense, he's trying to keep my bishop in the gimp suit, and g5 is good. This is a good try that I played, and queen g5 is correct. And f6 is pretty interesting, I guess. I should look at this. So if he's taking on f6, then I just play e5, and now I, like, have hope. I have some hope. I can maybe fix my position a little bit, because he was, like, 1950 or something. But he just went here. And initially, I kind of thought this was forced. And then I realized, like, if I take this... like, this sucks. This just sucks. And then I think the most shameful moment of my career, the most painful, upsetting thing I've ever done is playing f5 here. And I remember I had two different students who came up and looked at my game in this position, and I've never felt so ashamed in my life to have this bishop on c8, and I really convinced myself that they were going to drop me as a chess coach. I thought my chess coach was going to drop me as a student because of this bishop on c8, and I was just, like, having a horrible time, and I was saying really horrible things to myself. I should try this. I'm definitely a lot worse, but I should try it. I just thought I had to do this. And then this is a great move. and I tried to break out with this. This is an interesting idea. Like, if he, like, this is interesting, like, trying to, but it just doesn't work, and black is just losing. And then, this is a rook endgame that was fun to play. I felt like a Stonewall player. And then I resigned. My favorite game I've ever played. So, needless to say, I cried after this game. Just the build-up of the last 2 games was kind of too much to bear. I, like, went up to my room and I just, like, crashed on my bed and just cried myself to sleep. Like, I didn't do anything other than that night. I just cried and, like, passed out. But that makes the next game so much better. The worst game of my life, the next game I play is the best game of my life. So it's okay. You're gonna be okay. That's all I have to say. You know, shit happens. The next game I played after this one was just my favorite game I've ever played. So, bye YouTube.